Hello friends and welcome to my game of Spelunky, narrated in rhyme for the first little chunky. They call me Potato, the hero of Kerbin. I usually fly rockets while drinking some bourbon, but today something different because someone complained that I wasn't doing enough and needed to change. And so it begins, my tale of woe. Don't worry, only a few more verses to go. Alone in the dark, I sat on my sofa, with chocolates and chips and generic soda. Controller in hand, I fired up Spelunky. The Aztec-themed menu seemed rather clunky, but I gave it a shot, because it was on sale. It was this or dust, an Elysian tale. The tutorial seemed racist, a stereotypical Asian, played at midnight by a fat, short Caucasian. I stepped into a trap and took an arrow to the knee. Please, I suck, have mercy, I did plea. But the game didn't listen, and I got hurt again, while trying to rescue my damsel pug friend. I proceeded with caution, but it didn't help. A spider in a jar knocked me off the shelf. Time to restart, I muttered in anger. I want to beat this game with a coat hanger. Sometimes it is fun, but mostly it's hard. As pleasant as a swift kick to the nards. I'll never succeed. I'm just too damned crappy. With my whip and my bombs, and that dog's too damn happy. So come, watch me fail over and over again as I play Spelunky. Let's laugh at me, friends. I'm sorry about that, folks. I just had to do it. The trailer for Spelunky features several different poems kind of in that style, and I thought, you know what? Wouldn't it be fun if I did that too? But I have very little skill when it comes to rhyming, as you may have figured out. I also have very little skill in this game. Spelunky is really interesting. It's tough as nails. I have yet to make it past kind of the opening world, past the mines. I know there's more to it because, I've seen it in the trailers, jungle worlds and ice worlds, but I haven't managed that because, I'm terrible. I'm one of those people. I struggled to get past the first few levels in Super Mario Brothers, the original for the Nintendo. Yes, I'm that old. I had a Nintendo when it came out. So, but yeah, platforming is not my strong suit. Not that I really have a strong suit, but, if I did, it would not be platformers. But this game it's a lot of fun, but I would honestly say this is probably my favorite game to hate that I purchased on Steam. I picked it up during the Steam Autumn Sale. It was really all I had the money for after my trip to Austin for WizardCon, which was an absolute blast. Normally, when these sales come along, I'll spend a good $100, $200, and, half of that'll be on gifts, and, sometimes more will be on gifts. That's what I've been going for lately, but, yeah, it was, Spelunky. That's all I could afford. So, hopefully I'll be able to manage something on the last day of the sale. Now, something you might notice in this game is I die a lot. You're going to see that over and over and over again because I'm terrible at it. But there's definitely some influences here. You see, the people who designed it obviously were influenced by the platformers on the original Nintendo, and you get that with the whole permadeath situation. You've got your hearts up there, and that indicates how many hits you can take. Your hit points, I guess, is the way you describe it. And there are lots of little tools that you can use, and that's kind of reminiscent of, a lot of different early platforming games. The difficulty level's right up there too, and I've seen that as a new trend. There's so many other games out there that just hold your hand through it, and if you make a little mistake, oh well, it's okay, revert to your save point, or and in this game there is none of that. There is no save point, there's no reverting back. If you die while you're on the third level of the mines, you have to restart on the first level. So yeah, this is definitely not for the casual player, which well, that's me. I'm the casual player, but there's something about the challenge in it that's really interesting. Now, if you see here, this is one of the damsels in distress. Yes, it's been used a million times before. But the nice thing in this is you can change the options and actually make it so, well, the damsel is not necessarily a woman in distress. It's, it can be a man, or it can be a pug, my personal favorite. And see, yet again, another death. Now there was something that you might have missed on there. That part where it says, a chill runs down your spine. If you are in the game, in the level too long, it releases a ghost which will kill you in one hit. The moment it touches you, you are dead. And so there's really not a lot of exploring that can be done in the time frame. And I believe it happens after about 2.5 minutes. And if I keep pausing and, coming in and out briefly, it's because I'm getting messages on Steam. I'm sorry about that. But there's lots of little interesting tools that I like. Those you've got the ropes and the bombs, so you can actually deform the terrain. And there we go. See, you fall too hard, you get hurt. But it seems like death is just waiting around every corner. There is, there's no easy way out of this game. Really all you can hope for is to not die right away. But I think every time you play it, you get a little bit better, unless you're me, in which case you get worse with every play, because you just doubt yourself, and, then you sit there and cry, which is, admittedly I'm recording this after the fact, because I was crying through this whole thing, just tears streaming down my face, tears of gravy. Anybody that watches Community should get the reference to that. I'm basically the YouTube equivalent of Fat Neil. Now this game is it's very interesting. It's unlike most of the other games I've been playing lately. But if you've ever played FTL, Faster Than Light, you're familiar with the resurgence of the concept of permadeath in more modern games. Of course, with a bit of a retro slant on it, with the graphics and everything. Ah, perfect. So you see here, I've managed to reach the exit, and I've done it with my little pug damsel there. And yeah, I'm gonna knock him around a little bit. I'm trying to find a better way to get down there, because I think if I just jump down, I'm gonna get injured. No, don't run off. And see, there's the ghost again. So. And I hate that ghost. I absolutely hate it. See, I make it just in time. And at the end of the level, if you manage to rescue the damsel, you get a kiss for your efforts, and that rewards you with 1 heart. So if you were close to death, like I perpetually am, you get a little bit of your health back. But a lot of the fun in this is just kind of exploring, well, the different ways to die, but also the different ways that you can, you can do better in your next playthrough. I know it was a big surprise for me the first time I walked in front of one of those stones with the face on it and got shot with an arrow. And so after that, I did my best to avoid them. I'm not always successful, but I knew that. Here you see one of the shops, and the shop is randomized. In fact, the entire level is randomized each time you play it through, so there's no memorizing the layout or anything like that. And so on the second level, you encounter this shop, and of course you can spend the money you've gotten from collecting gold and jewels in order to get different things. And you'll notice there's no descriptions here. It's really either you look at a wiki or a Steam guide, or you just kind of buy it and see what it does. And see, it'll tell you, It'll tell you a little bit, but it's not telling you what it's useful for. Like the camera here, I didn't find out until well after the fact that the camera actually stuns different creatures. You'll notice when I took a picture of the spider, it fell down. Now if you take a picture of a bat, well, the bat dies. So everything has kind of a different reaction to it, but generally it'll stun things. And that can come in handy when you've got 3 or 4 guys coming straight at you. And really in this game, having one enemy coming straight at you is difficult. Now, just in case you're wondering, when it comes to the shopkeepers, you can say, you know what, I don't feel like paying, and you can go ahead and, kill him, throw some bombs at him, whatever you like. I mean, he's not an easy guy to beat by any stretch of the imagination, but you can definitely do that. The only thing is, from what I understand, because I haven't done this yet, but from what I understand, once you do that, the shopkeepers kind of permanently hate you. And there, I died again. That's going to become a recurring theme, is my death. But I might do a little bit more of a playthrough, and then I'll sort of leave you guys to watch everything. And see, in this start over, I found the camera again, and I accidentally threw a bomb. You have to be kind of careful. Now, I would recommend, if you're going to play this game, play it with a controller, preferably like an Xbox controller, something like that. It just makes it easier. Platforming games, they're really better off with a controller. And it's rare to hear me say something like that, because I do believe keyboard and mouse is the way to go for most games, but platformers, of course, are, they're a different story. And who knows, it might just be the nostalgia factor for me, too, as, I grew up playing games, nearly every game I played growing up was a platformer, and so I was terrible at all of them. And, I don't think I actually saw an end game on anything until I was like 12 or 13, so I was that bad. And I still am. I'm terrible at games, but I love them. You don't have to be good at something to enjoy it, Just ask my wife. She could tell you that about me. And see, I had to clarify because she's actually sitting right next to me, and she gave me a look, and she thought I meant her, but no, I was referring to myself. Just, a little self-deprecating humor. Isn't that right? Oh, she's shaking her head no. Okay, so, all right, little self-esteem boost, folks. I'm okay with that. And I died again. See, I got that little bit of self-esteem, and it got taken away from me by this game. So, this game is good for that. It's good for making grown men cry. So, well, I hope you have enjoyed watching, and please feel free to comment. Hopefully in the future, once I have a little bit more money, I can purchase a few extra copies of Spelunky and maybe do some giveaways on my Steam group. If you feel free to join my Steam group. It is Nick Gift Group in the community. That's the best way to search for it. You can also search for me, my personal profile. Call me Potato83. That's my Steam username. And feel free to add me. My group is right at the top of the list. And, keep in contact. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see me play. And as always, thanks for watching, folks.